welcome everyone. Um, Hi, my name is Tunde. I always start with hi, my name is Tunde. I don't know. I want to make that to be like my intro now. Every time I talk, is hi, my name is Tunde.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's cool. Sounds all right, I mean. So, hi, my name is Tunde. Welcome everyone to Venture Quest series. Today we are having a great, powerful person in the building today. Someone will be having quite a decent amount of time with us having conversations around technology. Now, today I'm bringing to you Mr. Ibrahim Oredola, and before I go into telling you more about him, I think it would be best for him to tell more about himself. But the little that I want to let you guys know is that Ibrahim Oredola has been into tech and startups for a while in Ibadan, and he's worked on projects either on by himself and projects for other people. And one of the things that he has worked on personally has been a startup called skillNG, and he's also worked on Sonwo.io. And so essentially from this, you'd already know that this man is like a serial entrepreneur in tech. He's giving it a try, he's trying out things and seeing how things are going. And that for me, I think places him in the best position to give us more information and context with regards to technology in Ibadan. So today, as I've said, we're looking into technology and we're looking into Ibadan as a community. And we're trying to figure out where does the venture opportunities lie. And we're looking at it from the viewpoint of the challenges within that space. So I believe Mr. Ibrahim Oredola will be in a very good position to give us a lot of context. His experience is going to be something I'm going to be digging into. I'm going to be asking him questions about why this thing went this way, in order to help every one of us listening to be able to use that information and make sense of it in their own personal lives. One thing I've noticed, or one thing I've seen, is because recently I was in a meeting and it was called the Ibadan Tech Ecosystem, something like that, something similar to that. And they were talking about how to make sure that Ibadan can become the next Silicon Valley. Now, everyone uses the word Silicon Valley. I don't know, I know it's not that easy to become the next Silicon Valley, but at least there are ways in which we can try to make that kind of thing happen. So, one of the things they talked about is why there are not enough startups in Ibadan or things like that. So, I think we will just start quickly. We're going straight into it. Today's focus is on tech in Ibadan, seeing it from a tech startup founder's viewpoint. Tell us more.
Okay, thank you so much, Tunde. When you were introducing me, I said you have a great and powerful person. I was like, oh, do we have a cool guest? Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm very excited to be here. This is a topic I'm so passionate about. I'm passionate about tech, community, youth, and Ibadan. So I'm so passionate when all those things actually come together. So, and I'm looking forward to sharing some of the insight, today. Tech in Ibadan is actually very interesting. And I've actually been in the ecosystem for quite some time, as far back as 2013, when I was a student. So that was actually when the likes of, when innovation was just, springing up. And I could remember volunteering for them to organize hackathon in the University of Ibadan and some other organizations like that. Even as far back as that, I could remember being like a country representative to an edtech startup based in the US. As far back as when I was still a student, like a 200 level student.
Wow.
So it was very exciting to the fact that even at that time, people actually saw a lot of opportunity in the Ibadan, startup space. So it's actually very, very good. I could also remember it was around that time, around 2013, 14. That was also when I founded my first ever startup. It was a Finofund.
Finofund.
Yeah, so it was a crowdfunding idea that got after watching a TED talk, about is it Amanda Palmer that raised like $1 million through crowdfunding platform for a musical project. So and I was like, okay, if a musician can raise this money for a musical project, so we should be able to also help students actually raise money for their projects.
Makes sense.
So that was actually how I started Finofund.
So, wait, I'm going to hold you there.
Okay.
So the first question is this. This is a personal one.
Okay.
So are you that kind of person that sees an idea and just jumps on it? Like, this makes sense and just goes for it. Is that the kind of person you are? Or you are more like the one that will have to write a business plan, propose that, meet with 15 friends, and have everyone dig deep into it to say, bros, this is not going to work.
Okay.
Which one of the two are you?
So I'm a little bit of both.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So
okay.
I'm the kind of guy that I operate with God.
Okay.
When I see it, I know that no, something is here. So like I don't even need to write business plan before I know that something is here, and then I just start. And then sometimes you need to actually sit down, run the numbers, crunch the numbers, do the research, and then decide is there something here? No, it's not worth it. Let's go. So, but at a point in time, and every entrepreneur, like there is that place of God that you just need to like something just speaks to you. It's just like a rema or like an inspiration that no, something is here.
Something here.
Go for it.
Yeah.
So and that feeling has also been part of me for a long time. Like a lot of things I've started, that feeling has always been part of it. Some of the things I started, I've always started through that. That there's something here, do it. And then we start it, and then we start doing the BMC, the business plan, afterwards.
Well, that's true. I mean, that's good, and it's true because again, if you go by the strategy of half and half, it means that you're also you run through your gut feeling, but you also do some level of due diligence to be sure that this will win.
Sure.
Okay, so back to where you were. So we're talking about your journey.
Okay, yes, we're talking about my journey. So we started Fund then with 6 of my other friends in the university. So and it was a lesson. I'm grateful for the opportunity because it actually taught me a lot of things as regards team building, team organization, and stuff like that. So I won't want to start a startup now. I started with 6 co-founders.
Really?
No, I won't want to do that.
You
now.
even want to give it a try now?
No. But at that point in time, you don't
Everybody,
know anything.
Yeah.
This is my friend. Come on,
join
come on, let's do something together. So, and then when you start, you now realize that a good number of the team are not actually fit to be in the team. They are good people,
but they're not fit.
To be in that team.
So are you trying to say that it wasn't even supposed to be a numbers game? Like it's not about the number of people.
It's not about it's about the functionality of the people that are coming on board. And that's actually why we said co-founders, you actually have to have complementing skills. So to guide against waste not doing anything or not doing enough or not maximizing the resources that you have enough. So we started it there. It was like a good ride. So we ran it. We were able to fund some couple of projects.
Oh, you guys
we
did?
built the platform, skillNG.com. Yeah, that was a URL there. So and my final year, I think we stopped it. So school,
sure. It's hard to really combine school work and all that.
So we stopped. And then I finished from school. I went for survey. When I finished from school. Because when I was on campus, I was the president of Junior Campus Journalists in University of Ibadan.
Oh, that's cool.
So I was very much active in the media on campus and all that. So immediately I finished, I got an offer to come and edit an online news platform. So I was the editor for that for like a year. So it was during that time the idea of skillNG came. Yeah. So and I went for service with that idea. I was building it. That was also when I got my first grant funding from Tunebeli Foundation.
Oh, you were TF?
Yeah, I'm TF alumnus. Yeah. That was 2018. Yeah.
Superb.
I got 2018.
I've got a grudge to pick with them, but since you benefited from this, so I just have to keep my mouth shut, Because for me, I'm really bad. I'm really bad with things like that. If I apply for something and I don't get it, everyone else that gets it, I just start fighting them. So I'm going to start fighting you also, But yeah, that's good. That's nice. Also,
so that actually gave us like resources to start with. So I can remember we had an office in Ajipode then, and we started close to the university environment. UI really helped us in building like that early momentum and all that, and we were able to actually do something fantastic. Till date, with skillNG, we've actually trained over 7,000 young people in different digital skills.
Wow.
And we have a lot of our alumni working in, like, name the company around, even in Lagos, in Ibadan. We have people that work with that we've trained, that work with Paystar, currently working with Porter, with GovAssist.
That makes sense.
Utiva, DSN. We have a lot of our alumni.
You guys are killing it, man. They are killing it. Trust me.
So it's a good experience, and to think that we actually built all that right from here in Ibadan. So that makes it amazing and fascinating. So and then I ran skillNG for some couple of years, and in 2021, so I decided to actually do something different, something else.
Okay.
Right. While I ceded most of the day-to-day operation to my co-founder at skillNG. So, and that was when I started Sunwo.io.
Okay.
So, the idea behind Sunwo.io is actually to protect people when they are transacting online.
Okay.
So there's this problem of fraud in the social media space.
Yeah,
you know, we have a lot of people leveraging on social media to actually sell goods and services and all that.
Yeah.
But with the advent of those social sellers, also come the problem of trust. You know, we have the cases of fraud.
Yeah.
You pay for a good and then they just block you and that's it.
That's really bad.
I've been a victim a couple of times myself.
So the best person to build such solutions.
Sincerely.
Because the anger there, like for someone to have done this to me,
because
I'm definitely going to build a solution.
It feels like I've been taken advantage of, like I'm a fool.
Yeah.
So like, why will you just scam me like that? So, of course, it was part of the zeal that actually made us start Sunwo.
Okay.
So, and the issue of what I ordered was what I got. You ordered the metal, you got plastic. So, we just felt that, okay, so what if we actually launch an escrow platform?
Okay.
So, whereby the paying party can pay to us on behalf of the receiving party. And once the receiving party actually delivers the product or service, we release the money to them. And if there's any dispute between both of them, we come in to mediate between them. And then everybody is happy. So, and that was actually how we started building. So, and yes, we are still building.
They're still going on with it.
Yeah, and of course, we launched for markets last year, March, and we're actually progressing pretty well.
So one of the things I think I wanted to come back to, maybe later on,
Okay.
but because what I'm trying to pick on is your ideation process of finding those things that you're building.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of ventures that are being created sometimes, trying to know which kind of venture really makes sense and how to think through the process of it, I think is key in building the right kind of ventures. So I'm just writing down those things that you've mentioned, and then I'll come back to it again. So and that was Sunwo.io.
Yeah, that was Sunwo.io.
And that's what you're on for now.
Yes, that's what I'm on for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So though I do a couple of other things on the side.
Definitely. Someone like you would definitely be doing multiple things at the same time. Trust me. But yeah, this to me is like it's a good place for us to really start from, because you are keen into two areas that I think is really powerful: education and financial. How would I say it?
So we actually have a word for it. We just call it trust tech.
Or trust.
Yeah.
Now that's a big space also, because again, now you're saying trust even pushes me into other directions. Like it might not even be financial trust, it can be trust in other things. But you're looking at the financial trust part of it. Fine. So what I would like to go back to now is we want to talk about challenges now.
Okay.
And the reasons why I think challenges is a very good place to have a conversation around is the way I see it is the whole world revolves around value exchange. Meaning I need something, you solve it, I pay for you for that. But I need to have a problem for you to be able to pay for it, or there's a better way of doing an existing thing for you to pay for it. If not, 3,000 people can do the same thing. I'm like, you guys are all doing the same thing. Like, why should I pay? So I believe challenges are the best way to be able to come up with new ideas. Now, I want to start with the challenges within your experience in building those two projects.
Okay.
What are the challenges you found within those two?
Okay, so challenges. Okay, we are not talking about the ecosystem. We're not talking about Ibadan now. We're talking about.
I think we should even first of all start from that Ibadan, the ecosystem, and the challenges that you face personally in building skillNG and Sunwo.io. Like, if this wasn't there, if this wasn't there, it would have been better. And this has been there for a while, and it still hasn't changed. I think that's where I want to be with regards to that question.
Okay, so if I were talking about challenges, I'll be talking from my own experience and also in the context of building from Ibadan, right? So I'll also be talking for the ecosystem a little bit on the side. So, and number one challenge is that we suffer a PR problem in Ibadan.
PR, okay.
You know, when you are trying to actually sell to people in Lagos, whenever they know that you are from Ibadan, the way they perceive you, the way they regard you actually drops immediately.
Really?
So,
I never knew that.
Yeah, it's actually very, 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 very existing. Yeah. So they just feel that, this one is not bad. Can we have something quality for Ibadan?
Wow.
Wow. Would rather just stick to someone in Lagos.
Really?
Yes.
So wait, is it that they just think that Ibadan is just all about Amala or something like that?
Yeah, and that's actually why I said we suffer a PR problem. And people on Twitter don't also help. And that's actually why you see anything ridiculous, they will tell you, see, it's not what I found in Ibadan.
Wow.
Even if it's not from Ibadan.
Wow.
And then people just have a way of just thinking that
Targets to Ibadan.
Yeah, Ibadan is like a backward place. Ibadan is a place
that's really bad.
that is backward, that you can't have anything progressive or innovative from Ibadan. So if you are from Ibadan, you're doing something fantastic, something different.
Yeah.
Like you actually struggle twice as much as someone building that same thing in Lagos for you to get the right recognition, the right market exposure, and all that.
PR.
So yeah, so that's actually one of the challenge, and that was actually why when we started skillNG, of course, we started as an physical kind of training.
Yeah.
We train people in digital skills and all this stuff. So as I told you earlier, we had like office at Achibode, but at the time, so we started moving like virtual.
Yeah.
So like such that okay, we are not banded by our location,
Yeah.
so we throw it open and then we have our classes virtually online and all that. So, but then as I said, so the issue of course starts coming in, and even some people, and this is the funny part of it.
Okay.
Some people that are actually based in Ibadan, they would rather say that, oh, let me go and learn in Lagos.
Really?
Yes. Than learn in Ibadan.
Wow, that's another one I did not see coming.
They believe that, okay, yeah, the kind of training they will get in Lagos is probably better than the one they will get in Ibadan. I'm telling you, by the time you dig into the industry, into the ecosystem, you see this problem. But thank God, it's changing a little bit. It's changing. But when we started, that was
an issue.
That was a big issue. And at a point, it pains you when your friend knows you are running an education training and is telling you that, oh, I'm going to Lagos to go and learn something. I was like, guy, what's up?
What's going on?
I will tell you that I will even get to something better, like if you are here and all that. So
I will even overcompensate just to make sure you stay.
Just to make sure.
So you're saying, no, so Lagos here, that's where we are going.
That's where we are going. So it's actually one of the things. So, and it's not just peculiar to us.
Okay.
So as far as you're actually running something, that targets other markets beyond Ibadan, and they know that you are from Ibadan, you definitely have that issue, right? So just that the frequency from startup to startup will now be reduced. So, for the fact that it's a startup, which means that you're actually starting like very small, also does not help. So because they'll be like, oh, your size and then from Ibadan.
So size also.
So
size of the startup might be a big. How about funding? What's up with funding?
Yeah, funding is also another very big challenge.
Is it that people don't like funding things coming from Ibadan, or is it that Ibadan doesn't have like a proper structure to attract funding?
Okay, thank you so much. So now I think it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
And I think that the lack of attracting funders to Ibadan space is also directly linked to the fact that the ecosystem is not structured enough. And let me also say, like, absence of data. To actually help the funders to make a decision that okay, we have this number. Okay, is there enough for us to fund? We will get our return. So those numbers are absent. And that's actually why I'm very glad that you actually mentioned the Ibadan ecosystem. I was actually part of the group. I found out that we are even on the group together.
Oh, yeah. So now the first funny thing I've seen about Ibadan is actually small. Physically it's big, but it's actually small. Like you join one group and then half of the people on your WhatsApp contacts is on that same group. And then I have to message them privately. Like, I also want to be on it. Like, yeah, I'm on that group too. Like, okay. So it's like it's big and it's small, which I think should be a plus.
Yeah, it's strength.
Yeah, it should be like, if you mess up here, we know because we saw you now that group mess up. So so I think you should give some kind of like I would say maybe intentionality in the way we do things, because if you mess up, everyone's going to know about it. So it's one of the things I've observed.
So as I was saying, when we're talking about lack of data, right? So that lack of data is also closely related, linked to low media exposure for startups and businesses in Ibadan. So if you look at it now, if you look at all the tech startups, all the tech media platforms, they're all based in Lagos.
Yeah.
So, and the Yoruba people have a saying that even when you give a madman a hoe, he will always like hoe it towards his own side.
Can you say that one in Yoruba so that I can feel it a bit differently? That's better. That's deep.
Yeah.
I really didn't quickly understand the difference, but it sounded deep. So
which means that they are based in Lagos, so they will always want to report from the perspective of being in Lagos.
Yeah.
So the reports will be more advantageous to people in Lagos and all those stuff. And they are actually the ones setting the pace, setting the agenda for funders. You know, when media is telling you that this is the next big thing, you will believe that that's the next big thing.
I won't lie to you. So I've subscribed to Tech Cabal, Disrupt Africa.
Okay, Disrupt Africa.
And like 5 of those media outlets, right? And everything I see, there's usually Lagos.
No, that is it.
Like, and these people are the ones like everyone goes to read about tech. But I hardly see anything bad on there. Maybe when OPay doesn't pay somebody, maybe I see Ibadan's name come up. But regardless, it's like,
so that is the issue. Do you understand? So because of the fact that it's Lagos centric, right? So everybody thinks everything is happening in Lagos. So and even by the time they even say they want to report Ibadan, it's always like a bias reporting or incomplete reporting or error reporting. You know, and that's actually why we are also facing that challenge. And also, of course, by the time we started too, if we had started in Lagos, we would have had more access to media platforms like Reporting Halls and all this stuff. But because it's you are in Ibadan, so there's already like a location barrier. Right. So and all of that. So and that's actually why I think we've not gotten to the solving the challenge.
No, we've not gotten there yet. We're still looking at what other challenges are still there.
So the media will be the one to set data, the funders will work on the data, and then the funding actually comes into the space. So that's actually that particular challenge. So funding is a challenge, PR is a challenge.
And then data to even drive the investment is a challenge.
Challenge.
Then tech media is also not really helping at all.
So
we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you want us to add to that or that? 5?
Yeah, we can add.
It's like there's a lot of problems going on. Okay, let's hear it then.
Okay, so another thing is adoption.
Okay.
So despite the fact that everything looks so cool, there's still that kind of rebellious attitude to tech, like that is deep seated within the people. So,
but don't you think that's because of ignorance?
I can't say basically like because of ignorance. It's just because of afraid of not really illiteracy. I will tell you why it's not illiteracy and why it's not ignorance. Okay, it's just because of the fact that there's a natural rebellion to change. Okay, this is how
human beings are naturally.
Like, why should I do it the way you want me to do it? That's just an adoption, just for the sake of that. And why I said that it's not because of ignorance or education is because of OPay has actually proved otherwise.
Oh, trust me. I sit down and I look at that OPay product and I'm like, damn.
So they proved otherwise.
You guys killed it.
Because when they were launching, like everyone, like, you have it as far as you're using an Android, you have the app. Because you know that you can actually get a 10 bike through that app. So
I think people have not really sat down to understand what OPay has been able to do from a product and from a product point of view, but from an understanding of the market point of view. They
did a lot of customer side.
They killed it. They killed it because I went to the mechanic and I asked the mechanic, I'm Okash Daniel, I want to transfer to you. OPay. I'm like, bro, you use OPay. He said, OPay. So for them to get to places and people that we would think will have an adoption issue,
and they were not having adoption issues.
They're celebrating 40 million users. Do you know how many 40 million Nigerians are?
Like,
man, that's a lot of people, man.
That's population of an entire country.
I'm telling you, to sit down and then say they all adopted a particular tool, financial tool. So yeah, I think OPay is really sending some kind of I think it's telling me that no matter what challenge we think we face, if we get the product right, then adoption can also come in, or people can change, or people can adapt. That's the way I see it. I mean, but then again, I still also feel that OPay came in at a time where Nigerians were really tight. As they say, let them breathe, let us breathe. So I think it came in at a time
like
where
an escape. Yeah. And then it was like we can't do it without this product.
We can't do it without this guy. So yeah, that makes that. So it's one thing I hear.
So and then there's also the problem of infrastructure.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're running a startup here, recently, everybody was complaining about roads in Ibadan. So if you are running a business that is road dependent, you know that there will be like a very big issue for you. And let me even give you like a personal experience. So our space then was in Ajibode. I don't know if you're familiar with Ajibode.
No.
Oh, you're not familiar with Ajibode.
I'm really bad when it comes to like moving
if
around.
someone is pregnant and you're going through that road, probably give birth before you reach your destination.
Oh, really?
So the road
Really that bad?
Yeah, very bad.
Wow, that's not good.
So because of that, even if you are trying to say that you want to learn with us and then you want to come there, you look at that, you're like, I'll be coming here every day. No, I mean I cannot come.
No, you wouldn't want to be doing that.
That kind of stuff. So that's actually one of the challenge.
If you're going to be going to a place where people are already having deliveries of kids before they get to the school, why would you want to go there? Oh, yeah, how about power?
There's a train problem.
Okay, they go.
They go hand in hand. Especially that axis that we actually set up our office then. Like we probably have power probably 5 hours per month.
I thought you were going to even say a day.
No.
Per month.
Like per month. I'm serious. If you know anybody that stays around that area, you can ask them.
That will affect business heavily.
So basically we run on Gen, we run on this and all the stuff. So at the point I was like, guy, I'm done.
Yeah, it's exhausting. It's very
That was
exhausting.
also one of the things that actually pushed us to go 100% fully digital and virtual. Yeah.
How about internet?
So yeah, internet, it's like let's say like normal Nigerian problem internet. So of course you have options. So when one is moving,
you just switch.
You just switch. But of course that's also a problem anyway.
Because there's someone that tells me like people move mad. I don't know if you've heard someone, but there's this person that tells me today people move mad. So I don't know if the internet is moving mad in Nigeria. So but I know it's crazy.
A friend of mine just got back from the UK and was like, I'm tired of Nigeria. Like, guy, just came back with me.
Like what's
like what about the internet and everything that it's so slow that I think he said he has internet on like 4 different networks.
Imagine.
And even like local fibers and all that. I just have to be connected.
Yeah.
And then there was a day he said that everybody was just moving mad at the same time.
It's one of the things. Look, people move mad. I don't know how to say it better than that, but people move mad. But so there are issues. Infrastructure issues are still there to be talked about. Man, you've listed quite a lot of problems and challenges, and I think the next thing for us to go into is let's discuss about what are the opportunities these challenges actually bring. Because for me, I believe that as you're mentioning these challenges, it means that anyone who can solve it actually opens doors for themselves, but then opens doors for more tech businesses within that space. So we start from the PR problem we talked about. I think if we ideate together and talk about PR problem, what could have been or what could be the fastest opportunity around PR problems, the challenge?
The fastest opportunity is actually to launch a tech media business in Ibadan that is based in Ibadan and that is Ibadan-centric. You'll be solving that problem for over probably 500 startups in Ibadan.
Wow. So, guys, one venture idea just came out. Ibrahim has just dropped something heavy here, and any one of you that wants to jump on it. Launch a tech media PR business.
Yes.
Whose focus basically is just rewriting the story in a way that that people can be seen. There's visibility for for startups in Ibadan.
Tech businesses.
Yeah. So, but then again, look at it from that. Would there not be a need for them to because they're already existing big structures, right?
True.
Wouldn't there be a need for a collaboration and a partnership with those bigger ones?
Of course. There should always be room for collaborations and partnership. So, however, when we're talking about they're just talking. Do you know TechNext?
No.
Okay, TechNext is actually one of the big 3 tech media startups in Lagos.
Oh, really?
So when you talk about TechPoint, you talk about TechNext.
Okay.
Right, and they started after the pandemic.
So it's even recent.
Very recent. That's probably why you don't know.
That's why.
So, but they are pretty big, and they've organized some very big conferences and all those stuff that
are moving.
Yeah, they are moving, and they've also carried a lot of stories. Big stories. I think the Patricia story, they carried it, and all those stuff and all that. So what I'm trying to say is that, of course, there should be collaboration.
Yeah.
But you don't actually need it to.
You don't even need to
try
to survive in that space.
Yeah.
So that to me is a massive opportunity, and I think even with regards to writing that story, that PR story, it doesn't have to be one PR. It doesn't have to be one startup. It doesn't have to be one business.
Yeah, we can have
as many people that want to say that story differently.
They can
but that can. Yeah. So it's
and one thing is that for the fact that you are based in, but does not mean that you're not targeting the rest of the country.
Yeah, it's just
you are still reporting, but you are from here.
Yeah.
So which means that you'll be loyal to the ecosystem.
Your information when it comes to Ibadan is 3 pages. Other places you give them 2 lines.
So and the fact that you now have access to core data and statistics from the ecosystem
to validate it
that people in Lagos will not have access to. So that when you are reporting about it, you are reporting more authoritatively than someone that is just sitting in Lagos and conjecture, making up numbers about Ibadan.
Wow, that is business ideas flowing out already. Venture ideas for you guys to think about. And
I'm happy that as I said earlier, I'm happy that you're actually part of the ecosystem group because there's actually a larger group. I don't think you were on that in that particular group. People are much on that particular group. Okay. So and I'm also part of the meeting that was held. I was actually part of the initial organizing committee and all that. So and this is actually one of the things I was advocating for. So we need media. We need our stories out. So if it's something that we can actually inspire people in the ecosystem, people that have the relevant exposure and tech skills, let them set these things up. It can even be ecosystem funded.
And it could even start from a basic blog post.
Yes, actually.
Just maybe tech in Ibadan, Ibadan tech or something. I don't know. And then just as you said, focus more on the stories within, and then add other stories just so that it doesn't look like it's just totally
because the truth of the matter is that as any founder, any investor, when you say, okay, what's your startup? I'll go to Google.
And even if it's just a blog post you've seen about that story, it means that somebody has also reporting. That's true.
Because if I can't find anything, I'll
do you actually exist?
You're like a ghost to me.
I totally agree. Even if it's just one blog post, it's enough. Like, I think I met someone, and the person we met is into tech in Ibadan, right? And then the person mentioned his name, and we're like, oh yeah. And then we came back to the office and started trying to dig and find this man. We didn't find anything. And then we started getting scared, like, who did you meet? You sure that kind of thing? But then we had to dig deep, and then we saw one picture of him on one LinkedIn post for like, wow, it took us all that to just prove the legitimacy of this person. But as you said, if people can just write about people and
now imagine if that person were to be a business, you probably don't want to transact the business.
I won't lie to you. I even had to call people and ask, and they say, it's legit. It's just that it doesn't, there's no one who's promoting who he is. So I think that's one thing we need to look into. Opportunities there. The next one you talked about is the size of the startups. I think with regards to if they're not big enough, they don't make impact. Like, how do we make sure that small startups kind of get some visibility, but are also, recognized? Because again, I think during that meeting, someone was talking about, he met with somebody in the bank, and then the person said, well, what startups are in Ibadan? What startups are in Ibadan? And then he was like, oh, don't you know this? And don't you know that? And don't you know this? And like, oh, are they in Ibadan? And then, that kind of thing, yeah, they're in Ibadan. That's why I'm telling you. But what I think is the size of the startups. Like, many of the big guys out there wouldn't want to come to Ibadan because they're not really too sure of how big these things are. Like, do they really have that market, market penetration size? Can they really move things in Ibadan? I think because, again, as I've said, these ideas that you even Sowo and skillNG are powerful ideas. They have the capacity to make a lot of difference. You've trained 7,000 people, but don't be surprised if you go to some places outside of Ibadan, they might not know about it. The question now is, if the size of the startup is the issue, how do we help accelerate the size from a very early stage? And is it even possible to accelerate the size from early stage?
Yeah, it's very possible. It's very possible, and personally speaking, that was also how we actually built skillNG.
Okay.
So when we actually started building very small. Okay. We didn't even have, I think our website was just like a WordPress website. And then we're having our classes within the campus of the University of Ibadan. Like open space. You just have someone just sit down. We have people around and we are teaching under the trees and all those stuff. That was actually how we started. So, but over time, we learned to actually leverage on collaboration. So we have to partner with other organizations, other people that are known. So we leverage on people's reputation and reputation of other organizations. And that was actually how we started getting known. So for any startup that is actually in that particular situation, so what they can leverage on is actually partnership and collaboration. So you need to find a way to actually plug with someone. So not necessarily like very big, but even with people of your size. So leverage on each other's network, grow.
I think there is a need for a startup to even solve that as a problem. There should be a venture that allows for smaller ideas that have done some level of work to plug into, I won't just say an ecosystem, but a structured business that gives certain level of exposure, and not just exposure as just telling a story, but exposure in like package a maybe
That's numbers.
yeah. How can this small, because in Ibadan, because funding is an issue, there's going to be a lot of small businesses that will start with less than maybe £1,000, or which is maybe 700k or 500k. He gathered this 500k that he's worked hard for the past 2 years, gathered this money, started a great idea. But because there's no structure to plug into, he just there till the point that he's so frustrated, and then it dwindles. And then you ask what the idea was, and you're like, that's a really good idea. How did it fail? So yeah, I think you're right about that. And I think it should be a venture. There should be a venture in Ibadan that can create a space for small ideas with large potential of scale to plug into, to be able to at least partners. There should be like a partner platform.
If you are going to other kind of startup, one of the challenges that the startup will face is the problem of mindset.
Yeah.
Mindset in the sense that people often see collaboration as competition.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, okay, your company's gonna get my customers and all this stuff.
But then again, I'm looking at it.
So it has to be very strategic.
You have to be strategic about that. But I'm looking at it from even the mindset you said is even brought my mind to another level. Like these collaborators or these plugin structures should be looking at it from a point of, how can I get this guy's idea to the United States? So they're not even looking at local competition anymore. So they're seeing this guy that came up with an idea and saying, like, how do we take your great idea and plug it into the UK market or into the US market? Like, you've got something rare or something good going on. We know it's small. We know it will even be a struggle within Nigeria or within Ibadan. But trust me, I can plug you into a bigger space. Those are the kind of things I'm thinking of. How can we get people that have that kind of mindset that gives them that exposure? So again, another idea I hope somebody can build into a venture will be create a system, a structure that allows for small ideas to plug into, to give them a bigger market exposure for what it is they have to offer.
So also talking about that, so probably traditionally the organizations that solve that kind of problem are probably kind of innovation hubs. They are the ones that incubate and then leverage people, then push you out there and all that. So which means that we probably need more influential hubs. And one thing, and that's my problem. My problem with hub situation in Ibadan is that people usually see hub as from the profit lens. But hub is actually much more than profit.
Trust me.
If you are looking at profit, you will not run hub successfully.
Trust me. I mean, we run a hub here, and I won't lie to you. Every day we talk about it and realize that it's not really the money that we're going to get from it, because it's not that easy, and especially from a place where in which the adoption of the idea of it is not even that solid, and standard of living is also an issue. You just have to do that labor of love and say that.
And that's actually why government also needs to fund the hub structure across the state, very well. Because the hubs are the one that stimulate the economy, stimulate innovation.
Because these guys will come with a great idea and say, I just need a place to get internet power and a space to work with. If you can give me that, I can run with it.
But you're a businessman, so how can I give you that for free?
But then again, I think there's a lot of things that one can still, incubator systems, I think, are something I'm going to try to put some effort into in the next few months.
And we hope government actually, because like for instance now, and that's actually why Lagos is kind of very advanced than Ibadan. In Lagos, they have the Lagos Employment Trust Fund. And those funds actually give out free vouchers to startups. They partner with hubs.
That's the point.
Just go there to work.
Look at like Tijani now, the Minister of Digital Economy. He started from the whole business now. Co-creation was the whole business. And he raised a lot of money, not for just his platform, but for other businesses that keyed into what he was doing. Like they were raising money for people, and I think from that, there's all group of guys, then the guys who started Flutter, they all started from that hub system of connecting with each other. Say, what's going on in that place? Let's make this happen. And then all of a sudden, these guys start building big businesses. So I think the hub, investing into hub businesses might be, but not hub from trying to get money out of people, hub from trying to incubate people into building things.
Exactly. That's actually why mostly that business will work when it's not profit focused.
Okay, makes sense. So you guys got that one down. The next one we're talking about is we identified the challenge of funding.
Sorry, on that one. So one last thing.
Okay.
So when you are small, you also need to actually prioritize leveraging on hackathons and competitions for exposure.
Yeah. I think they also help push those kind of things. Yeah, I think they do.
Very important.
Because that hackathon kind of feel is to say, okay, let's quickly do this. How can we quickly fix this? How can we quickly build this? And it kind of excites people like, oh, 2
And then when
days.
they promote you that you win,
Yeah,
of course,
it
like,
just drives.
It gives you in the face of like a million people. They know that you exist.
Yeah, hackathons and all that also really drive. So the next one there is funding. And I know funding is a big issue. The question now is, how do we take the challenge of funding and build it into a venture? Why is there no tech venture funding partners in Ibadan? Somebody that sits on, I know there's microtraction there, and there is Africa, the one that he does, I forgot the name of that one. Future Africa. Why is there no $2 million investment funding for startups in Ibadan? I mean, I don't see reasons why. And I'm not no disrespect to people who raise money for all these things, but trust me, 70% of them, with all the best of all their ideas, still does not work out. Which means that the investments are made to actually help and actually help make things happen. They're not raising this money knowing that we are going to it's not always going to result in financial results immediately, or it's not going to translate into money immediately, because I mean, you've seen all these startups closing up or closing down, raising 2 million, 3 million and don't closing down. And the guys who were interviewing them must have grilled them properly and said, before I give you that 2 million, we need to be sure that you've crossed the T's and dot the I's.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day. So for me, it comes from the mindset that it's a numbers game, meaning, and I think that's what they say Bill Gates does. Like, he looks at it and says, I don't know if it's Bill Gates, but someone mentioned that a lot of investors look at it and say, if we invest in 10, give them maybe 10,000. We're just looking for 2 out of the 10. And even though this 10, we've done our due diligence and all that, it's just 2 out of the 10. Why can we not take that same mindset and say, okay, we're going to build 10 in Ibadan? Where we know maybe 8 of them or 9 of them might mess up, but one would still actually make a difference. And the success of one will pay off for the loss of the remaining 9. So we need venture capitalists, seed funding, I don't know, they have different names nowadays.
Yes, you have the angel investors.
Yeah, angel investors and all that.
So I want to actually, another thing what we need in Ibadan is more of, we need patient capital. Like a lot of patient capital.
Explain that.
Okay, so for the angel investors, they are not like always about like immediate, cash out and all those stuff, because they know that, okay, early stage, you probably have a long way to figure out. But you can actually just find this money, you can be playing with it. I don't need it anytime soon. I'm patient with you. Do anything you want to do.
So we need patient investors.
Like patient capital, a lot of patient capital. So, and that's actually what we, build the ecosystem. So not the kind of funding that someone will just give you and then they'll be on your neck. The guy, after. You need to do something.
And
when are you
painfully, I think these so-called Nigerian investment groups that we have, all these, again, I don't want to name drop or things like that, but all these things that they don't have the patience. They've got funding from somebody overseas, and that person has said, you must be able to bring this back quick. So they don't have that bandwidth to allow for people to make mistakes.
And that's why the kind of people we need in the ecosystem right now, they are probably like non-profit organizations that are ready to actually just push the money, or individual investor. I know that, okay, this is my money, so I can play with it. Take. So, but all those structured venture funding and all,
they can't really. So now what you're saying now is that the best funding, or the kind of funding we need, even though we need funding, is not really from the big boys like venture capitalists. No, we need angel investors.
And that's actually why they are not coming here. Because they probably know that, okay, probably the market is not big enough for them to play.
You mean the venture capitalists or the angel investors?
No, the venture guys.
Oh, they don't. They look for big markets that show your numbers, even though they don't know if it's really happening. But if you show them a website that's registered 1 million people in 3 days, they will come around, But then if you show them you've done 10,000 in 2 years, I don't believe you. We can't go down that road. But yeah, so funding with regards to angel investors, non-profit organizations, and individuals, I think is where. So whoever can create that kind of structure can, because you also earn from it, There's you can get carry fees, you can get equity from all those startups also. So it's a business in itself if you want to try it. If it's a venture in itself if you want to create it. As I said, patient investors. If you can figure out how to find patient investors, it will definitely change the narrative. It will help push the startups that are coming out of the environment. The next one you talked about is data to help drive investments. Now that one is interesting. It's interesting because I don't even see reasons why there is no startup doing that already. I think it's an easy one. I think someone that did a reasonable study in data analysis, that has a friend that knows a bit about social media and has somebody that can create a simple landing page or something like that, three of them can come together and build a startup on that. Because as you've said, the data is required to be able to give some kind of acceptance, credence, integrity. People play with numbers, investors play with numbers, so they need data to support those numbers. So I don't see reasons why that doesn't exist.
So as an investor, so if I'm actually looking at a startup that's talking about payment,
Yeah.
then I need to be able to have the exact number of how many people are actually doing payment in Ibadan.
Yeah.
People have smartphone, how many people are doing cashless, all those kind of data. But we don't have that.
Now, seriously, somebody needs to start that one. If you don't start it, I will start it. And I'm very serious. If they don't start it, I will start it. I'll find three people. One data analyst, one social media person, and maybe somebody who has a basic web
And then someone can
development
do something like, what's the name of this guys? StatusSense.
Okay.
You know StatusSense, right? There's another one I'm trying to remember.
Now,
I
you
don't
know
why.
quite a lot of startups, man.
Yes, I've been in the space for a long time.
You're just spewing out their names, and I'm like, no, I don't know that one. No, I don't know that one, you know?
So there's this guy in Lagos. I remember before the end of this interview.
Yeah.
So he's actually doing quite well as regards, data
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So he's running something like a media / data
Oh,
startup.
okay.
So and then people have to like pay, subscribe to read the analysis
Oh, that
and
makes
stuff.
Again, as you said, collaboration. If you don't even have access to all that data, then find people who already have some form of data that you can like work on and analyze and make something. So yeah, someone should work on that.
And even if someone is working on this idea,
Yeah.
they don't necessarily have to work on it as a profit-oriented startup.
You don't.
It can be non-profit.
You don't have to be
get
profit.
funding from the development
Easily.
organizations and you'll be
And
fine.
then-
just like budget.
And then get to a point where if everyone depends on you, then put a price on it. Like make it a freemium. Use it for free. Oh, we've got 500 users now. Oh, okay. Now that we have 500 users, pay me something every month. Because again, the information is like improving and updated frequently. So everyone is keyed into it. So freemium package for that would work. Guys, somebody has to do something. If you don't, I've said it. If you guys don't work on it, I'm going to work on it. So the next one you talked about is tech media.
Okay.
You mentioned about there should be some media houses that are like just for tech, and it's just for Ibadan.
Yes.
And I was thinking, Tribune is from Ibadan, right?
Tribune is on Ibadan.
I
But it's
don't-
not tech focused.
That's what I want to say. Like Tribune has a reach.
Yeah, they have a
National
they have
reach.
A reach. They have a good reach.
So why is it
Tribune
that
is on Ibadan. They have a good reach.
they don't have Tribune? I don't know if you actually get to watch this at a point in time, but why is it you don't have a tech focused part of it where you just sit down and talk about tech in Ibadan? But if they don't do it, somebody has to. So I think there should be tech media houses that can focus on tech and maybe tech and entrepreneurship.
Or even if a startup like Tribune, a company like Tribune,
Okay.
can actually like create like a subsidiary
Yeah.
that is just focused on the tech. That would be fantastic. It can
Two
be Tribune
journalists,
Tech.
just two journalists or one journalist, and just give them just let them start it up and just
Start
run
up
with it and let's see where
yeah.
that goes.
So they can leverage on their existing, network,
Infrastructure.
and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
And I can tell you, it will be like the next big thing, even nationally.
Trust me, because they have that national reach. Tribune has a national reach. So if they don't have
I
that,
just they can just pick up this idea. It's even like thinking about it. It's even very like it will be very great and easy for them to do.
easy light work, proper light work. It's like you just create a section within your and then just focus on that.
And there's market in the tech because tech bros want to
And
promote.
I'm telling you, and when they start making that money and start raising capital, they are going to be putting it on those newspapers
Of
because they know
course.
that this small Ibadan that they are in, if they put it on Tribune Tech or Tribune Tech session, it's going to be everyone in Nigeria that's going to see it. Imagine your own small, big Ibadan, but small in the size of tech, is saying something and it's being magnified across board. So yeah, I don't know, Tribune, if you want to work on it, work on it. If not, somebody's going to create something around it. And the next part you talked about was adoption.
Okay.
Adoption is a challenge, definitely. But what are the opportunities for people to build solutions around adoption?
So I think any opportunity that we're building will be around distribution and marketing.
Distribution and marketing.
A distribution and marketing startup or company,
Mm.
so that the majority of the things you do is actually to help people push from production to market. So let's assume now, like someone like me now, I built this group platform and everything, so you can work with me to getting like probably my first 10,000 users. So you know that okay, that's actually so you would have studied the market, you understand the market to the extent that you know you can actually pull that off. So this is your budget. If you have this budget, I'll get you the first 10,000, and then you can go to the market and make that magic happen. So startups like
startup that can drive marketing
yeah,
within the locality would definitely do well.
Yeah, they understand it to be able to drive. So they will not be working for just one startup, they will work for multiple startups.
Because I won't lie to you, sometimes I think startup entrepreneurs or startup founders are given too much task. You want to be the startup guy, but you want to also do the marketing. You want to code. You want to do this and do. I'm like, bro, you can't. You only have 24 hours like everyone. You can't do all those things within that period of time.
Yeah.
You know. So I think that yes,
funny is it's easy to build production, marketing and promotion.
It's tough.
But
and even big businesses struggle with it.
Sincerely,
talk less of you that you're one man founder, three people in your team cheering each other up. So, it's hard.
So right now, okay, I'm at a stage whereby I'm more careful when I'm going into stuff. So when I see a new idea, my first thing is that what is promotion, like distribution of this product? If I can't figure that out, I'm not going.
You just put it right. Let's just leave that one for a while.
Except I see a very clear path to distribution. Good, let's go. Let's start building.
So now what you're saying now is that if there was a platform, a startup, a venture in Ibadan that takes care of that at a reasonable cost, something that you know that is not too, and can say, okay, your idea, I'll give you 10,000 users, or I'll give you 1,000 users. If a startup can just sit on that alone, that will magnify.
And they can have different plans. So if 1,500 users, this is how much it's
I'll get
you don't want all this now. If 100,000, no, just pay the money.
That's kind of the bros. It's all part of your budget. So if you give me this,
I'll bring it. I'll give you this number of users.
Yeah. I mean, there is the informal approach of you having influencers, paying influencers and say that.
We are talking about structured.
But structured now, somebody
that's what they do.
A proper team that sits down and structures out a plan.
Strategy.
And they're sitting with you every day, going through the data and saying,
we have now. Okay,
we are holding, like we tested an A/B testing and said, this thing work proper. Let's switch to this. That would be awesome. I mean, that would be great. So yeah, if someone can work on a marketing startup for tech in Ibadan, you got markets there. There's a lot of people that are going to be able to push, as long as the prices are not too heavy. But as Ibrahim has said, like give them different plans. Because the plan of you are still coming up. The plan of you are there. The plan of you have daddy's money.
Thinking about it now, right? So you know about Port TV, right?
Again,
okay. So Port TV is like the number one, WhatsApp influencing platform in Ibadan, and it's Ibadan based. And it's actually quite, I think, popular around the country. So
they're pushing it.
Yeah. So I think it's one of the platforms I'm proud, like separating from Ibadan.
That's
Port TV.
That's good.
So and this idea, I think it's actually very suited for this idea
them.
because they already have the audience. They have the numbers already.
Yeah.
So just tweak their
build
business
structure
model
into it, like just turn it into something that's like more of a structured business opportunity. Yeah, that is nice. That's really good. The last one we have there is infrastructure. And we mentioned quite a few. And I think many of these infrastructure issues are beyond
the government. It's not government.
Yeah. Because if there is a road that somebody has given back to Pekin just because of the fact that we can't get to, it's a problem that they need to solve.
But thank God, I think there's an update recently. The state government, published some news that they've allocated some of the roads for rehabilitation.
Oh, that's good. That's hopefully. I think the governor of this state is really into roads. I mean, I'm not sure if it's going to be what's going to do in this new tenure, but in his previous one, I think he tried a bit on roads. There were, again, when it comes to these people, you're never too sure of the overlay. That means it could have been something someone before him has started, and so it's like an ongoing thing that he just keys into it. But when you see it, it was at its time the thing finished, but doesn't mean it was at its time it started. So again, I don't do politics too much because it's frightening. So I'll leave that and then believe that, as you said, they will keep working on the roads, allow for more network, people to be able to move around. And the power, that one, I don't see reasons why there are no alternative energy, renewable energy startups in Ibadan.
Where I think it's actually changing. We are having a lot now.
Coming on board.
A lot.
I think that is the key to it.
I think, is it Sunlight or Sun King? Yeah, Sun King is actually making some waves
in that direction.
Ibadan now. And then, of course, we have Ashtam Solar. Ashtam Solar is actually one of the biggest renewable stuff operating out of Ibadan.
Really?
So check them out, Ashtam Solar.
So I think alternative energy is the way. Let's
Yeah,
forget
alternative energy is the way.
forget
Actually.
that.
So we
trying to
need,
wait
so
for
we need, of course, we need more startups in that
masters.
space.
Yeah,
So they'll be able to actually work with, because people actually have different energy needs.
yeah.
So they should be able to work. There's some founders that I just need my laptop power. That's
That's
the
all.
only thing
That's all.
important to
That's
have in
all.
life.
That's all.
So and then we can be able to do portable stuff to them that they can carry around.
This will
and
take
they
it
can do-
because at the end of the day, it's a need-based kind of thing when you're building things in tech. It's like these are the needs. This is what we need. I need a space that I can bring my two guys on my team and we can work from, and that's what we need for now. Now we might graduate into another level and say, oh, we need something more than that.
more than
But,
this.
but then if you can meet those needs, as you said, based on those customer needs, and this is your need. One person need, two people need, three people need. We could just translate that into a lot of growth. So yeah, I think renewable energy startups, if you are into it, but then again, I also think that there should be a way in which they can expand those startups. And when I say expand, in the sense that create ways for smaller people to still join. I know it's still a small growing place, but I still think that there's still more people into this game that can expand it in a way that it becomes a situation where people don't even depend on Nigerian electricity anymore. Like you've structured it in such a way that it's so accessible, it's so reasonable in cost. You can easily call someone to help you get it done. It's not. You mentioned two powerful people, but it should be like 10,000 power providers that can meet those needs. The way you can go out there and get an OPay for get a mini money points person out there to make a transfer. That's how easy it should be to get power taken care of, so that you can just move faster. There's no dependence on electricity.
And another idea I have around that is also the issue of energy sharing. So very important. So when we have startups that can come into that space and we look around that, so we can be able to solve that on
that issue. Energy sharing is also very, very
so
powerful.
let's say for instance now, so if you have someone like you,
Yeah.
like probably like 3-4 like you in this building,
yeah.
so you can actually just do energy sharing and you
Reduce
not
cost.
even, spend as much.
Yeah, because again, if we put on our gen, more time than not, we only use my laptop, phones, their own laptops and all that.
Just operating.
I could, with the generator we have, I could push over 20, 30 laptops without even feeling it. That kind of thing. But we're not optimizing on that because we just like, okay, as long as this is taken care of. But as you said, it's a smarter move to get more people on board, share on energy, and then optimize on work. So yeah, energy sharing, if you can figure something out around that, Ibrahim is definitely available to help you around, I guess. So yeah, that was really awesome. One more important question I want us to quickly dive into would be, now that you've created skillNG and Songo, I want to ask a question with regards to what are the complementary business opportunities that people can start and build around your existing structure. Because I think a lot of ways in which you can expand that venture space is, if someone has created something, other people should be able to create businesses around that existing business and also find something to like earn from it, but then also improve your business, because other people are also keen into what it is you've created, it's expanding your space, but it's also creating opportunities for them. I think there's a need for us to think in that direction of, it's not just you you've created something, no one else can, no, I've created it, but there are 10 different businesses that can work around what it is I've created. If you are interested in this and you can start something like this, reach out to me and we can also work it to improve my business and it also. So what are the complementaries?
Yeah, there are a couple of stuff actually. Okay, let me start from skillNG.
Okay.
So at skillNG, basically what we do is we train young people in different digital skills, no code and code based. So and then we also try to place them to internship, mentorship, and the likes. So a complementary business opportunity that someone can start is run like a talent startup.
Okay. Just sourcing talent.
Just sourcing talent.
Okay.
So and then you can be sure that you get like a non-stop supply from us. Because as we are training, we'll just be pushing everybody to you. And then you can monetize that and place them.
Again, one before you go, one quick opportunity he has just mentioned now. He said that if you have the capacity to find companies that need talents, that you are recruiting for people, easy thing with him is if you reach out to him, you start your business. I have my business of creating these people that are good at what they do. Connect with me and then we can work together. And you can start small. You can start your own recruitment small. You don't have to be big. You just know one person that knows somebody.
And funny enough, it will also help us because we cannot tell our student that, okay, just come and learn. There's an exit route
there's
for
an
you
exit.
already. So
So yeah,
it's
complementary
what-
business with Ibrahim would be start your own small recruitment firm, even if it's just 5. Let's not make it look as if they have to start something too big. If you can help 5 people get a job in tech, Ibrahim can get you the needed talents to support that. That's the first complementary business. Okay, what else?
So another complementary business is also in the aspect of also closely related to that,
Okay.
but not as direct. It's also something I'm thinking of, but resources have not been able to us to actually look at that.
Push it out to someone else to do for you.
So we call it talent. Okay, I'm coming up. Okay, so it's some
The
sort of
concept, basically.
Yeah. So it's escaped my head now.
Okay.
Yeah, but the whole idea is actually to work with startups,
Okay.
like a talent program,
Okay.
for startup.
Okay.
So let's say, for instance, now your company now.
Yeah.
So and you know that okay, you have use for this kind of talent.
Okay.
So what we do for you is okay, we just get like a bunch of interns across to you.
Okay.
Let's say like 5.
Okay.
So they'll be working with you. They'll be
Okay.
working with you
Okay.
like probably for a period of 3 months.
Okay.
And then after that 3 months, like a training program.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So after that 3 months, and then you can now say that okay, amongst all this, I think I will take one.
Okay.
At the end of the day, and then the other.
So what you're saying now is that opportunities, complementary business with skillNG would be if you have a startup and you want to create a pipeline for your talents within your startup, they can provide an internship training program to support that. So startups don't need to train their people; they just need to work with you.
It's just like a pipeline that is very cost effective for you.
Again,
you're not even paying them the actual cost. You're just paying them the internship. Why they understand your business,
Learn
and
the
then you
business.
can take the best out of them.
Complementary business. Then
So because if you are just hiring from, you still have to train them,
Train
and
them,
then
onboarding
a lot
and all
of trial
that.
and error, and then you fire again.
that's true.
That kind of
That's
stuff.
true. That's nice.
So that is so, and then generally we also open very much to.
Okay,
I'm coming to
okay,
Songo.
okay. I thought you were when you said generally, I'm like, don't close it yet.
So skillNG, we are also open to other training platforms.
Okay.
So we do collaborative training.
Okay.
Partnership.
That's
So
nice.
so you run a training, we want to, don't worry, let's run like a collaborative training together.
We are going to work with we're going to work with you on that because we've been trying to get some things running in that space. So we'll definitely speak to you and see how that can also make sense. So yeah, if you have trainings, again, nobody's stealing your market. Like, don't think of it like that. There are millions of people that are in Ibadan. So and you can't train everyone.
No.
So the moment you can take that mindset out of your head and say, I can't train everyone, I can collaborate and be stronger by it. Let's make that kind of thing happen. So collaboration is also a good thing.
So and then supply of tech tutor talent.
Trainers, right?
They are trainers.
Okay.
So if you are that kind of, so we also supply, we can supply that. So if anyone is actually, so there was something we did during the last summer break.
Okay.
So we partnered with one of the biggest private secondary schools in Ibadan.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, Valencia.
Oh, okay.
So and then we trained their students
Oh, that's
during
good.
the summer in tech
That's good.
skills.
That's good.
So, but it was too much stress for me actually.
Oh.
So if someone actually can have a startup whereby okay, you talk to the schools yourself, you
Yeah.
can supply the talent and then you manage it.
Again, another idea there.
So,
if you have network
negotiate.
or you've got access to schools that needs to be able to provide tech talents during either normal classes or summer classes, there's complementary business between you and Ibrahim. So reach out to Ibrahim skillNG. These are opportunities that you can work with him on that will earn you. All you need is to know, essentially.
Yeah.
Just know the schools.
You don't disclose and be
That's
able
all.
to like seal the deal with them. So we'll give you the talent.
The talent.
We'll give you the resources and everything. So you want to just oversee them.
Just oversee.
Pay us for our tutor, take the money from them, remove your cut. We are good.
Again, money for somebody somewhere. Complementary business.
So then as regards to there are a lot of use cases, like a lot of complementary business that we can do together.
Yeah.
So one of them is if you are building a declutter.
Okay. What is a declutter so that everyone knows what's
Okay,
going
so
on?
a decluttering platform is actually a platform whereby people can actually sell their properties they don't need. So
Okay.
probably let's say you are moving, you are jackpotting now.
okay,
so you
okay,
want to,
okay,
like,
okay,
declutter
okay,
your
yeah,
properties.
yeah,
So
yeah.
take it to a declutter platform.
Yeah.
So we've been seeing the rise of those kind of platforms in Nigeria now. Especially they are very active on social media.
Yeah.
But sometimes I've also had issues whereby the decluttering platform actually went away with the money of the person that is
Trust is
decluttering
the
from.
problem there.
Trust is actually a very big problem. So anywhere trust is a problem, someone is there
Someone
to
is
actually
there.
work collaborative with you. So you can actually build your own platform, decluttering platform. People will go there, they can put up their stuff. So we just undo that escrow
Aspect
payment.
of it.
So you as another platform, you're not the one taking the money. So you can't go with people's money.
So what you're saying now is this: if a new person wants to start a decluttering business,
Yes.
and he feels that trust is one thing that he wants to be able to give to his customers, then complimentary work with you would definitely work in us.
We work like that. So we just handle the payment issue
Yeah.
and all this
And I
stuff.
think trust is very important. Many businesses, like every day you hear of scam going on every day, fraud every day. So makes sense. The clothing business, if you're just starting that one out and you believe trust is one thing that you can sell as a unique selling point, because trust is a unique selling point at the end of the day. Like, not only are you selling based on good prices, but you're also saying that you can trust my process or trust the fact that I will deliver, then someone can step in and help you achieve that goal.
Yeah.
That's
So
good.
similar to that is also e-commerce platforms.
E-commerce
Generally.
platforms. Okay.
So if you're running an e-commerce marketplace, you have vendors coming on board. So just plug it into your system and then you are good.
So
we
again,
handle
if
the
you've got a
payment.
small e-commerce platform that is struggling to succeed, and you want to add trust as a unique selling point, then you can work in complementary kind of way with someone, and then they will provide that structure to make sure that the transaction is done in trust and in fairness to both sides.
Yeah. So and then this one is actually very exciting. So generally for startup people or organizations,
Yeah.
as a business owner,
Yeah.
I know you can relate with what I'm about to say.
Yeah,
So you are supposed to pay your staff at the end of the month.
definitely.
You have the money with you, but you can't pay them now because you know that if you pay them now, they might not work, right? But you
That's
also,
interesting.
don't want to hold the money because you know that you might spend this money on other operation stuff and all those stuff. So we have a solution as well whereby you can actually pay them,
Okay.
but they don't receive it until you say so it's out of your hand.
Oh,
and it's not
okay,
in their hand.
okay. I get what you're trying to say now. It's like you're doing business with like maybe a freelancer or somebody like that, and then you want to tell them that, bro, your money is safe. I am going to pay for your service, but I'm not paying you until you complete the job.
Yeah.
So the money has left my account. It's definitely going to get to you, but it's based on our service level agreement.
Exactly.
If we've said this is what has to be done, if you don't do it, then money
you're not
doesn't.
getting-
So
exactly.
we both accept this is our service level agreement. You're going to be able to deliver on this. The money has left my account.
Yeah.
Now it's left for you to do it right. If you don't do it right,
So it works perfectly for freelancers and even normal staff.
yeah.
So as long as you don't want that money, you don't want them to.
Yeah.
So and you want them to also have the assurance that you will not be owing them by the time
the money is not in my
it's
account
month end.
anymore. It's
So
safe.
you can, they will even receive a alert that the money has been paid already.
Really?
Yeah, that they just need to like finish and
Finish
then
and
do approve
then-
and then they get the money.
Oh, that's awesome.
As against I'm working for you, I'm not sure you have that. You have that money in your account.
You've been the way you've been. He's moving mad. He's moving mad
So
recently.
those are actually complementary
Yeah,
opportunities that people can actually work with. So,
Yeah. That sounds really cool. Actually, I think it's something that they should implement more with regards to trust. Is a big issue in Nigeria, and I think it's something that systems like yours can actually play big roles in that. Just being there in that space to find the real good ones, and then the ones that are just wasting time. Like you want. Because the worst thing is for you to lose your money to someone. Like it hurts more than any other thing.
Right, sincerely.
I prefer to give you money for free, than you taking my money and trying to be smart with me.
Sincerely speaking.
For days I'll be hitting my head against the wall. Like, how did I allow that to happen? So yeah, it's been awesome talking to you, Ibrahim.
here.
I don't know, we've taken so much of your time. It's been a wonderful conversation.
I'm very happy to discuss.
No, seriously. A lot of the things that you've said, I've written them down now. But I think that, what we've talked about definitely gives a eye opener to where the ventures do exist, in tech for Ibadan, around the problems that are faced and how those problems can be transformed into opportunities for people to start things. We've come up with like 20 ideas already of ventures that we can work on, people can start working on. So if you go through the video again, take your time, go through each part of it, you start identifying, how it all worked out. Thanks to the team that you don't see behind the camera, they've been doing an awesome job. Some of them have been raising 2 thumbs and 2 legs in the air, but we thank everyone for being part of it. So I hope you guys enjoy it and then make sense of it, and then have a great time, everyone.